The NFL has always had great quarterbacks, guys who could read defenses, thread the needle, and rack up passing yards. But every now and then, a quarterback comes along who's just different. I'm talking about raw, physical strength. Some of these guys had arms so powerful they could launch the ball 70 yards with ease. Others were so big and tough that trying to sack them was like tackling a tight end, and some did both. Today, we're counting down the 10 strongest quarterbacks in NFL history. The cannons, the bulldozers, the quarterbacks who redefine strength at the position. Number 10, Daunte Culpepper. Daunte Culpepper kicks off this list, and just look at him. At 6'4" and 265 pounds, he had the body of a defensive tackle. And when he stepped on the field, defenders had no idea how to deal with him. You thought you had him sacked? Nope. He'd shrug you off like you weren't even there. And once he got free, he'd launch a missile 50 yards downfield to Randy Moss. Moss himself even said he never had to slow down for Culpepper's throws. That's how powerful the guy's arm was. In 2000, Culpepper threw 33 touchdowns and added nearly 500 rushing yards. By 2004, he was closing in on 5,000 passing yards, and along the way, 34 rushing touchdowns in his career. What made Culpepper unique was how he could change a defense's game plan by just being on the field. Defensive coordinators had to plan for the deep ball because of his cannon, but they also had to account for his size and running ability. He could shake a defensive lineman, roll outside the pocket, and pick up a first down himself. That kind of dual threat was rare for his time, and his strength made it possible. Number 9, Steve McNair. Steve Air McNair was just built differently than most. His arm, an absolute rocket. He could rip deep outs across the field or launch a bomb 60 yards downfield like it was nothing. But his real strength, it was his toughness. McNair played through everything. Bruised ribs, busted ankles, even a torn sternum, and he still suited up. In 2003, even while missing 2 games with injuries, McNair went out and won MVP, splitting the award with Peyton Manning. That was only the 3rd time in NFL history that the award was shared. That season, he threw for over 3,200 yards, 24 touchdowns, and led the Titans to a 12-4 record. And don't forget the guy's legs. McNair ran for 37 touchdowns in his career. If the play broke down, McNair lowered his shoulder and made defenders pay for it. One play against the Texans in 2003 sums it up. He limped out of a broken pocket, shook off tacklers, and fired a 40-yard strike. That was McNair. Tough, strong, unstoppable. Teammates said he had the respect of the entire locker room because of how much punishment he took and kept going. He'd show up taped head to toe, bruised all over, and still make big throws when it mattered. Physical strength got him through hits. Mental strength made him a legend. Number 8, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is known for his accuracy, but don't get it twisted. His arm strength is unreal. He makes 70-yard in-game throws look like warm-ups. The Miracle in Motown Hail Mary against the Lions in 2015, a 61-yard bomb that felt like it hung in the air forever. In the end zone! The playoff rocket to Jeff Janis in Arizona, same story. What's crazy is how easy he makes it look. Effortless. With just a flick, the ball explodes out of his hand. Teammates said his throws had a different spin. Opponents said they come in like bullets. Rodgers' strength is effortless, and that's what makes it so deadly. Rodgers also used that strength in subtle ways. The quick release on a 15-yard out, the ability to throw off his back foot and still hit the sideline, or the velocity to squeeze the ball into tight windows before defenders could react. Strength isn't just about the deep ball. It's about making throws other quarterbacks physically can't. Rodgers did it routinely. Number 7, Terry Bradshaw. In the 1970s, Terry Bradshaw was the deep ball guy. He had the strongest arm in the league, and the Steelers knew it. He launched moonshots to Lynn Swann and John Stallworth, helping Pittsburgh build a dynasty. 4 Super Bowls in 6 years, and Bradshaw's arm was the foundation. Super Bowl 10 tells the story. Late in the game, Bradshaw launched a 64-yard touchdown to Swann that sealed the win. His completion percentage wasn't great, but who cared? He had the arm to change a game with one throw. Defenses back then were allowed to maul receivers, and still, Bradshaw's arm cut right through. He played through wind, through cold, and through punishing hits. He may not have looked smooth, but strength made him one of the greats. Quick pause here. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got new NFL content dropping every week, and you don't want to miss it. Number 6, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts might be the strongest pound-for-pound quarterback we've ever seen. This guy squats over 600 pounds. For anyone that's done squats before, you know how difficult that is. And it shows. The Eagles' tush push is so successful in part due to Hurts' leg strength. In 2022, Hurts scored 15 rushing touchdowns, the most by a quarterback in a single season. Defenses know it's coming, they still can't stop it. But Hurts isn't only about short yardage. In 2024, he ripped off a 44-yard run against the Rams, breaking tackles along the way. He runs like a power back, but leads like a franchise quarterback. That combo of leadership and raw strength is rare. Coaches rave about his work ethic in the weight room, and teammates follow his example. Hurts isn't just a strong player. He's a strong leader, and his physical dominance sets the tone for his entire team. Number 5, Ben Roethlisberger. Trying to bring down Big Ben was like trying to tackle a moving boulder. At 6'5" and 240 pounds, Roethlisberger was the toughest quarterback in the pocket.
Them dudes jump off that damn horse and they trying to wrangle them little calves. That's how it is trying to tackle Big Ben, man.
Defenders would crash in, sometimes 2 or 3 at once. He'd just shake them off, spin out, and fire a dart downfield. One iconic play against Jacksonville in 2007 saw him escape a 3-man sack and still throw a touchdown. That was vintage Ben. Over 18 seasons, he finished top 5 in passing yards and touchdowns, won 2 Super Bowls, and left behind a reel of broken sacks. Big Ben wasn't just strong, he was relentless. Even late in his career, when the athleticism had faded, his size and core strength let him hang on in the pocket longer than most. He made a living off of creating second chances, something only possible because of how hard he was to bring down. Number 4, Brett Favre. Favre had one of the strongest arms the game has ever seen. His throws were so hard that receivers joked that it hurt to catch them, and he never hesitated to test his cannon. Off balance, across his body, double coverage, didn't matter. Favre trusted his arm, and more often than not, he pulled it off. And let's not forget toughness. 297 straight starts at quarterback. That's an Iron Man streak built on grit. Over 70,000 passing yards, 500 touchdowns, and a reputation as one of the most fearless quarterbacks ever. Favre was chaos and strength rolled into one. The best part? He made it fun. Favre's strength wasn't just physical. It was his confidence that no throw was too big for him. Number 3, Cam Newton. Cam Newton was a different breed. At 6'5" and 250 pounds, he was a linebacker playing quarterback. At the goal line, he was automatic. 75 career rushing touchdowns, the most ever by a quarterback. One game winner against New England in 2013, he ran through multiple defenders like they were cones. That was Cam in his prime. The peak was 2015. 35 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing scores, a 15-1 record, an MVP, and a Super Bowl trip. Newton game after game bullied defenses into submission. And don't forget his arm. Cam could launch the ball 70 yards too, combining strength in the air with strength on the ground. He was a true dual threat powerhouse, unlike anything the league had seen before. Number 2, Josh Allen. Josh Allen's arm is flat out ridiculous. In practice, he's thrown footballs over 80 yards. In games, 70-yard bombs are routine. In 2022, he hit a 75-yard touchdown against Kansas City that showed the full power. And it's not just distance, it's velocity. Allen rips lasers into windows that don't exist for anyone else. But like Cam, Allen's a runner too. At 6'5" and 240 pounds, he's rushed for more than 50 touchdowns. He doesn't just scramble. He lowers his shoulder and dares linebackers to stop him. He's stiff-armed defensive linemen, hurdled linebackers, and powered through safeties. Allen combines quarterback arm talent with running back physicality. That's why he's one of the most dangerous players in the league right now. Number 1, John Elway. When people talk about strong quarterbacks, John Elway's name comes first, always. His arm was unreal. He could throw 70 yards on the run. He could fire cross-field lasers into impossible windows. And he did it in the clutch. The 1986 AFC Championship game? The drive. 98 yards with the season on the line, capped by bullet passes into tight coverage. That wasn't just leadership. That was raw strength carrying a team. Elway finished with 50,000 yards, nearly 300 touchdowns, 2 Super Bowl rings, and the permanent title of strongest arm in history. To this day, he's the gold standard. So, who was the strongest quarterback ever? Was it the cannons like Elway, Favre, and Josh Allen? Or the bulldozers like Cam Newton, Big Ben, and Jalen Hurts? Drop your pick in the comments below. And if you like this countdown, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More NFL content is on the way every single week. See you on the next one.